Today we're going to solve lump sum problems. Lump sum problems have an amount at the beginning and an amount at the end and nothing going on in between except for interest is accumulating. If when you read your word problem you see monthly payments or save each year, you have an annuity problem and you need a different technique. This will give you an error. All right. You're going to use the present value or the future value of a dollar table depending on what you need. If you need the present value, use the present value table. If you're missing the future value and you need it, use the future value table. If you have both amounts at the beginning and the end and you're just looking for interest rate or number of periods, either table will work. So the basic strategy is use the table related to what you're trying to find, the unknown. Do not use this strategy for annuities. It will give you an error. All right, try this one. Do you need the future or the present value of a dollar table? That's right, you need the future value of a dollar table. Okay, now let's go about solving it. You have to adjust for compounding. So before you go to the tables, so what is the number of periods in the interest rate per period? All right, 2% per period and 20 periods. Go look up your factor, off to the table with you, and see what you get. Now before we check your answer, let's give it a sanity check. Is it less than 500? That's not going to be any good because you started with 500. You know it got bigger over time. Is it thousands and thousands and thousands? Probably didn't grow that much. So be sure to give your answer a sanity check. Helps a lot to find errors. All right, let's try another one. Which table do you need? That's right, present value table. We want to know what we need to start with. Okay, adjust for compounding. What would the interest rate per period and number of periods be? Very good, 3% per period, 40 years. All right, off with you to the tables, get your factor. There you go, 32,400. How'd you do? Ready for another one? All right, here we go. What table do you need? That's right, we need the future value. Okay, adjust for compounding, get your formula out there and see how you do. If this is going too fast, just freeze the frame for you till you catch up. That's an awful lot to repay, isn't it? $16,000 and you only borrowed $7,000. Whew, I bet Jane doesn't like that much. Let's change Jane's rate. Let's lower it to 10%. Wouldn't she be pleased? How much is she going to have to repay now? Well, that's a lot better than $16,000. It's still a whopping chunk of change, isn't it? She only borrowed $7,000. There's a lesson there, isn't there? All right, let's try another one. Do the whole thing. Freeze it and go all the way to the end. Okay, 18,000, that's right. Very good. Let's try another one. What if you have both the present and the future value and you're trying to figure out either interest rate or number of periods? You have to flip the fourth and third step. You have to solve for the factor and then go to the table and hunt for it. What do I mean by hunt for it? Here we know the interest rate, so we go to the 7% interest column and go down it until we found something close to 2.75. So get out your table, look down the 7% column, and follow it until you come to some number of periods that looks pretty close to 2.75, and it looks like about 15 years. Okay? So that's how you hunt to solve for those. Let's try another one. All right, so you know the factor and you know the number of periods. Now you have to take your finger and go horizontally across where period equal 9, until you find 2.75 and see what interest rate is that. And it's just under 12%. Oftentimes the factor won't match exactly, but it'll be close to something. And that'll give you your answer. All right, now you're ready to study annuities, which is the next tutor.